I haven't seen it. Does it look good? Can't lose it, right? We're wrong.
No, shut it off.
Shannon, no.
She said that.
Look at the bottom of the menu.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the menu.
Timberville Town Council meeting to order, May 8th, 2025. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everybody has 2 minutes, one from April 10th, which is the regular council meeting, and the other one is the short budget meeting we had on April 17th. Any questions, any changes, anything on them? If not, I'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Isaac. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, go on room?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. You have, everyone has a copy of the treasurer's report. Any questions from Melinda on the treasurer's report? It's nice to see the loan down at 567. That's it's going down quick. Okay, no questions? Okay. Bills for payment. This is the new updated list they see?
Correct.
Okay. I had one real quick question. I think the Daisy Lane, that was budgeted like last this year's budget.
For the current year, that's correct.
Okay. And I had a question about how expensive the tipping fees were, but we looked at that and there was an extra week and we had large trash pickup, so that's what ran that up a little bit. Anybody else have any other questions about the bills? Sharon?
No.
None?
No.
Okay. I need a motion. You want to give me a motion to approve bills?
I'll make a motion we approve the bills.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Any further
Yes.
discussion?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They're getting quicker. My pointing is going here. Okay, at 10 after, we're going to have a hearing on the budget, but we'll go down to the police report.
Okay.
Sergeant, you got something for us?
Yes, sir. I know the email I sent out to council, I said there was 49 ordinances addressed by the officers. That has increased to over 50 now since today. They continue to work on new and ongoing issues. Our flock cameras continue to be an asset for us for investigating criminal activity. They have assisted us with solving several larcenies. And just recently, I saw the larceny Roy Police Department was working on. The items were stolen out of a storage unit and were found on a bed of the truck on our flock cameras. We just recently received a $250 donation from Lake Plains PTO, and we just want to thank them for their donation.
Okay. That's all you got, Chief?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant? I caught myself the first time and I slipped it. Okay. AC, you want to go to Public Works real quick? Sure.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you?
No, not yet.
What I wanted to say, Officer Baker helped with an incident on our street, and kudos to him. He did an excellent job. Very professional.
He's a great officer, he's a great asset to our team.
He was excellent.
Thank you.
CAC?
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay, Sharon. I'm just sitting back here in the peanut gallery.
You haven't even left already, she's already forgotten.
I still can't see that later.
Go ahead. AC.
All right. Quite a few things on here, like last one. Quail Farm subdivision plan review is or is being reviewed by all the different permitting agencies, us, the county, VDOT, all of that. That is the housing development proposed area behind the Food Line Shopping Center. So that one, it's good that that one's continuing to move along. We have all the agencies do, so. I attended a VDOT meeting regarding the study they're conducting on the safety and potential improvements to Route 259 from Broadway to Mosey. That's a roadway that always comes up on for consideration on the 6-year plan. It hasn't, I don't know that it's been, I think it might have been included on one of the plans, but it doesn't look like, at this time, what they're looking at more is what can they do to correct those problem spots. The intersection at Mayland is one of the big ones. Just trying to figure out things that they can do to make it safer as people travel that road without actually relocating the road or widening the road, things like that, because that would be a massive project too. They've told us in the past that to actually double or make it 4 lanes like 42, they would actually have to move it outside of Mayland. So you're talking about moving it out into the fields behind there somewhere. So it would be a massive reroute of the entire corridor there. So. But it's very interesting, and especially when we get into some of the technical. I'm a transportation idiot when I get into the room with those guys because they're the experts. And just what they do is it's the terms you pick up on with signalization and things like that. It's pretty interesting stuff. And I have the report or their slide deck that they used for their presentation if anybody is interested in seeing that and see what kind of goes into one of those projects. Yesterday, I met with a representative from the Central Shenandoah Planning District Commission about different ways that that organization might be able to assist the town. Part of that discussion included consideration of a bike ped plan, which is a bicycle pedestrian plan, which might be able to help set us up to tackle our aging and missing sidewalk infrastructure when we eventually get our control of our roadways. And when the comprehensive plan was redone, that was part of, they did the transportation section for us, and they included that one map that shows where the missing sidewalk is and where sidewalk should be added and things like that and improved. So always working towards those improvements. Sergeant Hook and I don't know if anybody else did, any of the other staff did or not, that I'd send it out to. We attended a Zoom meeting today hosted by Dominion Energy about the upcoming hurricane season, what they're preparing to do. Pretty short meeting. A few good nuggets in it, but it was good, it was short. And so they just trying to plan how, I think they were calling for like slightly higher activity this year than what is normal, whatever the normal would be. We've had issues with this comes up now because we're in the middle of this, our water bills. We mail them out, and then they used to come back rapidly. When everything was processed in here in Timberville, it was the best scenario. They would just take care of everything at the post office. Now all the mail has to be sent out to the sorting facility in Maryfield, Virginia. And we've had issues, been in contact with Ben Klein's office for a year and a half now, probably, something like that, sending them our concerns because they get up there, things get lost, there's huge delays on them. Our previous 2 billings, after going through a lot of that communication, they had thought they had figured it out, but then apparently the post office has implemented new changes that took effect April 1st, and the water bills were mailed out April 30th, a week ago Wednesday, and the post office got them back into the post office this morning, and that's just, they're going up to Maryfield, and they're postmarked as first class postage. It's not like a bulk rate or anything like that. So they should be getting processed just like any other letter with it. For whatever reason, they're having issues with it. Some of what we've heard is they think it might be because of whatever the additional days that are allowed for first class mail with the new changes that were April 1st, and now there's other changes going into effect July 1st that we don't know how that's going to affect it either. So office staff has been really good about trying to get people signed up for e-bills because obviously there's no lag with that. And so I think Michelle said that y'all signed up probably another 20 or 30 this time. So obviously, the more we get signed up for that service, it's just easier for us and it's automatic delivery.
How many are doing it? You do?
About a third of them.
Oh, really?
Because we have, I think, we sent out 854 bills this time, and we have about 1,200 bills or so that go out each time.
That's good.
So yeah, it is good.
And when you sign up for that, you get email and I think text like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So there's no way to say you didn't get it.
Yeah, no reason, no excuses for not paying your bills. So. Couple of other things under Public Works. When Broadway was doing their sewer line replacement down here, and I think the mayor had actually brought it up to me from a resident before that.
Oh, yeah.
Several of the residents down around that area asked if there was a way that they requested the town to look into closing off 4th Street at Main Street at South Main. So we know it's an issue or a problem in the area, not necessarily too many accidents, but as you're coming up 211, 211 and 4th Street on the opposite side of South Main Street are offset from each other, and there's a hill there. So people who are coming off of 211 regularly fail to yield to the people coming off of 4th Street who have the right of way.
I'm guilty of that. I did it with Neil about a month ago.
So several of the residents around there came to me when I was down there with that project, and they asked if there was a possibility to do that. I mentioned it to VDOT. VDOT seemed like they probably wouldn't have much of an issue with that. So I'm working on sending out a letter to kind of an area back here, or anybody that kind of might anticipate use 4th Street regularly. Sergeant Hook's going to set up a stealth staff and get me some numbers on traffic counts next week to see, is there a lot of usage of that, or is it very minimal where it's not going to really impact anybody? Several of the residents that have come to us are the ones that live right there at the intersection, around the intersection of 4th and 4th Street, 1st Avenue, who would probably have the most potential for using that road. So we'll keep you all up to date on that, but I think that would make a huge improvement. We could just plant, put in kind of an extension of the curb through there and plant some plantings, that's something very visual so that people see that you can't drive through there anymore.
Great idea.
And then, same intersection, I've had several concerns expressed to me recently from the large truck drivers.
Yeah, the tree.
They're talking about those first 2 trees, so we're looking at possibly taking those out.
Harvey was going to do it.
Oh, okay. Because he was one of the ones that came to me.
Yeah, he asked me.
And so, yeah, when the trees were smaller, cars had a little bit of an issue, but cars take off a lot faster than big trucks. So these bigger tractor trailers, Harley's trucks, those things, they can't see, and it's a lot slower takeoff and with that oncoming traffic. So we're probably going to take out those first 2 trees to just improve that sight
We'll
distance.
just save them and move them across the street.
I asked Chris about that. He's like, I don't think we can do that. So that's all I have for Public Works. So, does anybody have any questions on Public Works?
No, but would you ask them to water the trees?
Okay.
Okay, we'll move into our public hearing. AC, you want to read the highlights of?
Sure. So, tonight's public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget for the town of Timberville has been properly advertised. As required by the Code of Virginia, we present a balanced budget of $2,762,352. The proposed increases, following are proposed increases, and they are reflected in the budget document. A 1 cent increase in the real estate tax rate, taking it from 10.5 cents per $100 of assessed value to 11.5 cents, which is what the rate was before the reassessment occurred in 2022. A 4% increase in water and sewer base and tier rates. And this increase will increase the minimum user's bill by $2.92 per billing, or $1.46 per month. An increase in trash collection fees by $1.90 per billing, taking the rate from $36.10 to $38 per billing. This increase was predicated by Rockingham County's decision to increase the tipping fees by $17 per ton. So if the proposed utility rates and trash collection fees are approved, a minimum user's bill, which is every other month, would increase by $4.81 per billing, or $2.41 per month. Renters' deposits for utilities will increase from $125 to $225 to be compliant with a requirement in the Code of Virginia, Section 15.2-2119.4. And shelter rental fees will be equalized at $40 per 5-hour block. Capital expenditures, the general fund allocation of $39,000 for improvements to the town office property and another small project. And water and sewer allocation of $110,000 to include improvements to the SCADA system and sewer line repairs. And then throughout the document in individual lines is also reflected increases in contractual costs and other smaller expenses. Many thanks to the town staff for working together to create this document and to the town council for the serious consideration and discussion that went into the work sessions. That's always helpful when we get good feedback from those work sessions.
It was very good work sessions we had. Okay, open up to public comment. Make a comment, now's the time. Going once, going twice. Public comment's closed. Okay, we're back into, you just finished public works. I do have a question on, we don't go through the budget the next month.
Right.
Any more on the, I know we put out the letter about fluoride. I know we've got maybe 1 or 2 questions in emails, maybe 3 questions in email wise. Is it anything we have to do now, or just wait that 90 days and then vote to do what we want to do? Or
Well, council's already got it, already goes
so
in.
there's not, we just
No,
wait 90
it's-
days and that's.
And then it's
done.
official at the end of that time period, yeah,
Even though we can't have the equipment to do it anyway.
right.
Or the fluoride to do it anyway. Okay. Just seeing anything else is going on. Okay. Business industry, a lot of stuff there.
Let's get back over to my list. Obviously, Tractor Supply is moving along rapidly. They are moving lots of dirt around, taking lots of dirt out and bringing lots of dirt in. So, but they've told us that they're planning to be open November 1st of this year. So I think it's going fairly well for them, fairly smooth, a few hiccups here and there. But, Dollar General has indicated that they will be opening sometime in June.
June? Oh, wow.
Yeah, the permits were issued for the new signage that will go in the store. So be looking for that to go up pretty soon. And issued a zoning permit, I think that was on the list, for a commercial structure at the corner at 157 North Main Street, which is the corner, the intersection of North Main and Church Street, where the Sacred Building we had demolished. And so it was just going to be kind of a generic commercial building, kind of a cool design in the front. But we also had a gentleman come in who was looking to open potentially 2 restaurants, and he was having a hard time finding a location in town. So I got that gentleman connected with the owner of the property where they pulled the permit, and they both seemed pretty interested in getting in touch with each other. And I figured now's the time to do it before the gentleman wants to build the building before he starts into it. It's easier to design it for a restaurant use now than it is to go back and try to retrofit something. So hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, something good will come out of that. But the gentleman who wants to open a restaurant or restaurants is very interested in this area and has been for some time now.
What do you do for parking on that small lot like that?
So they have it designed where they'll have paved parking in the back part of the lot, and would meet,
Okay.
no bigger than the building is, it should meet any uses that they would have.
Okay. Sorry.
And let's see, well, next month, I'm still working on, so last month we had the public hearing for the tobacco vape shop. I was told that it was being withdrawn. I never did get confirmation of that from the name that was on the application. I've reached out multiple times. Since then, we've had another application submitted for same use, same location. And I spoke with the representative of the first individual. And apparently there's something going on where the new applicant is either knows the original applicant or is connected with the original applicant. So they're trying to figure that out. As of right now, we're proceeding as it's been withdrawn, because I have no indication otherwise. But that will go before Planning Commission next week for them to discuss, and then they are supposed to have representatives here, or a representative here and one on the phone during that Planning Commission meeting, and I told them it would be helpful if they were at the public hearing next month for council too, so that, that was kind of, it's easier if they're in person, because then any questions that arise, they might be able to actually answer them on site. So that's what we're looking at, and I sent that information out in the memo to council, and so if you get a chance, please try to visit some of those locations just to get a feel for the variety of what can be housed in there. And I think that's all I have under business and industry, unless I missed something and you want to remind me.
Not that I have.
Okay.
You got any Parks and Rec going on?
Parks and Rec Beach Egg Hunt was another successful event. Thanks to everybody who attended, and Cargill, right, for sponsoring that event. And the walking path has been completed at the American Legion Park. So if you get a chance, please, or make a chance to go over there and see that. The guys did a great job on that, and it's amazing. I told Don and I told the guys, I said, it's amazing how a two-dimensional facility like that actually adds so much to the park. And the bridge structures that the crew built did a bang-up job.
And that was a donation.
That was a donation. That was a donation in memory of Sandy Good Wetzel from her estate. And so we will have some kind of, we've got multiple different things. A peace pole went in that was donated by the Rotary. Yeah, Rotary. I think I've got that right. Yeah. And so we have that. They want to do a dedication of that. We want to do a dedication of the walking trail. And then we also want to do a dedication of the restroom, of the bathroom facilities, and have Rockland County here in attendance too. So we'll get all of those coordinated, especially since we have better weather here now. It's not crazy cold outside.
Have you or Chris walked it to see how far it is?
They measured it off, it's 0.4 of a mile, is what Chris
Okay.
said.
And it's flat.
It is flat, that's right.
It's definitely flat.
Received several complaints about snakes in the park at Plains District Memorial Park, down by the river. I've explained to the different individuals I've talked to this, it's a natural environment, you're gonna have that, it's right next to the river. The biggest concern was that I kept hearing were they're copperheads, and all my experience, I've never seen copperhead down here in the valley, always at the foot of the mountain or up in the mountains. So one of the complaints that, or concerns that came in, actually yesterday, I actually went down and met the guy down there, and we walked down, he pointed one of the snakes out, it was swimming through the river, and it was a northern water snake is what it is. It's non-venomous. They can be testy, but he said that's what, all the ones that he saw, that's what they look like. So most people don't care for snakes, but they are non-venomous, so worse things could happen, so we could get angry at you. So, but if anybody has concerns, if you see something down there, you don't know what it is, always feel free to call up here. And but you have to remember, it is a natural habitat.
I look at it, we're walking through there.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's all I have on Parks and Rec.
Finance, we're good for finance for right now. We'll have our vote next month. I'm on vacation, so Vice Mayor Sharon, you got all that down. So I guess you'll have two things. You'll have a vote for that, and you'll have public comment on the.
So we'll actually have two things. We'll have expect to have the Dominion franchise agreement public hearing next month as well.
Okay.
Which they're all simple. So yeah.
You just gotta open it.
We got you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That'll help you. Okay, and I think that's all. You have those two things next month. Personnel, I mentioned we want to have a police committee meeting, so we're going to have a recommendation for the council next month. So I'll be going next week, but maybe the week after, something before council, so we're prepared to have a recommendation for the council. So we're going to have set that up. You have anything, Sergeant, personnel? Okay, and you don't have anything.
Besides everybody being super busy, it's very busy.
We knew it was going to hit all at once, right?
Yeah, it keeps hitting all at once, it keeps increasing, it never slows down, so.
Plains District Motor Museum, what you got, Sharon?
I do have something. Sorry.
That's a problem.
Okay, May 18th, the J. Frank Hilliard Middle School Band is performing, and they are really good, so I hope everyone can come. And June 6th and 7th is the yard sale, and June 8th is Bill Zerk talking on the Alms House. And I think that's it.
And speaking of yard sale, the town yard sale is this on the 10th, right?
Yes.
Still have a lot of people around looking for yard sale stuff this Saturday. Got anything for us, sir?
That we, want to get rid of the snakes, the AC can catch them, bring them out and put them in my lawnmower building.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Get rid of
You know I hate snakes.
It would get rid of all that money.
You know that.
Yes, it's not many mice around, that's
I
for
guarantee.
Yeah, one summer, a couple summers ago, I had 13 black snakes in there at one time.
Yeah, do you remember when I came to your house and you told me that and I almost ran?
I don't remember that. Anyway, on Saturday, February 3rd, 1923, the moving picture Deception was shown tonight at the Columbia Theater. March 21st, 1907, a charter was issued by the State Corporation Commission to the South Timberville Water Company Incorporated. That was 1907. We'll have something else here in a minute. March 8th, 1909, Mr. Spitzer and Mr. Minnick are running the new Hotel Rockingham located over the bank building in Timberville. And we mentioned before, the small rooms were $1.50 a day and the large rooms are $2 a day. So, August 1947, the new Method Dry Cleaners opened for business. August 28, 1931, 15,000 bushels of peaches were brought into the Mucho cold storage that day. October 1928, Governor Harry F. Byrd spoke at a political rally held in the auditorium of the Timberville High and Graded School. Well, a lot went on up there close to your house.
A lot
didn't it?
did, a lot did.
Tuesday, October 20th, 1925, the typhoid patients are being moved into the Reformed Church parsonage, which is being used as a hospital. That's about 2 houses down from the museum. February 15th, 1916, the South Timberville Water Company Incorporated has applied to the State Corporation Commission to dissolve the corporation. The commission has certified that the corporation has ceased to exist and the directors shall proceed to settle up its business. So that water company was from 1907 to 1916. And that was located down around the C Street area.
Okay.
And the John Hoover House, I think, was one of them on that system where Mr. McCauley used to live. And then I think that I always heard it was about 8 houses on that water system, but I'm not sure which others it was.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's all you got?
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll move to any other business that the council may have.
I actually have something.
Yes, ma'am.
I had a conversation with Chief Dodd earlier this week about, I was looking for some contact information for a town employee. And then, of course, in conversation, it goes off in 5, 6 different directions, but we don't have any way for constituents to contact us as council members unless they happen to have our personal contact information. There's no, like, at least the last, from what I can remember, there isn't any centralized, having an email with the town exchange on it, I feel like would be beneficial for a number of things. One, we're easily contacted, but also in terms of the Freedom of Information Act, I would like to separate my personal email account from anything related to town business. I know that creates a little bit more work for the town. Okay, but I think it's
We send it to the IT department,
okay.
to our IT people.
You're right. Okay, so yeah, it's like I realized that having a centralized place for us to contact, you know, police officers, to check in on, how they're doing, or if there's anything that we as council members can do for them, or any town employee, but also being able to be accessible to the people of Timberville, because I, new member on council, a lot of people don't know that I'm on council, and don't really know how to contact me, and, I realize that, some people are like, careful what you ask for, because you open the floodgates, but, that's why we're here, to serve the people of Timberville, and you kind of need to be available. So I think that, having having a very distinct line drawn where it's like, this is personal, private email account, this is town business, having those separate, I think would be a wise move.
Wasn't our phone number, it used to be published, right?
We send it to, I think VML does that, but that's not like, I don't know how it's out there.
I get phone calls, but everybody knows.
I say, how long have you been on council, and that's not trying to be like,
Yeah.
how long have you been here, but, it's been 2 years roughly for you and me.
Yeah,
And, we're younger and don't have as.
well, not much.
I'm right there.
Easy now.
He's like, been on council as long as you have, and being
Yeah.
able to develop relationships with people.
Well,
and-
and I was born and raised here.
Yeah,
So
and-
that
and-
makes a difference.
Yeah, and
I think having an email contact that people can reach out is fair.
And personally for me, like between my personal email account that I've had for 20 years now, my work email account, having, things get lost. And I try to respond to emails that I get from the town, and sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. And I'd like to be consistent on that, and having a separate account where I know also, basically, it serves as a public record,
Our IT guy.
We'll look and see, it might be some expense to it, but it wouldn't be that much, I wouldn't think, so.
And you can set it up so that it automatically forwards to your personal email if you want, just so you don't miss something. But the
Yeah.
point is, for FOIA requests, the Timberville email would be the actual official record.
Right.
It would just be a copy that would be sent to your
Right.
personal email. And then you could respond from your Timberville email if you wanted to do that.
No, I just want, I want everything to be very clear and separated, at least for my own personal, mental bookkeeping or whatever,
No, it's a good governance move.
Any other business? Okay. Public comment, any other public comment? Anybody? What? Okay, seeing none? I guess we're adjourned. It's not afraid to hit it at 35 minutes after.